Alright, what's going on, you guys? Brian back here with another recap video. This time we're recapping everything that went down on tonight's Legends Night episode of Monday Night Raw. Coming off the heels of an emotional week last week with a lot of tributes to Mr. Brody Lee, Luke Harper, who passed away about a little over a week ago. I believe the day after Christmas, to be specific. How would this week turn around from last week? And of course, a little bit of news coming out of Japan, of New Japan Pro Wrestling. Of course, tonight was our last night was the start of Wrestle Kingdom, and I believe tonight is going to be night number 2. But on night number 1, we saw Kota Ibushi defeat Tetsuya Naito to become the IWGP and Intercontinental Champion. Now he defends both of those belts against Jay White on night number 2. We also saw Kenta. He regained or retained his IWGP US title contract. We heard from Jon Moxley, who is the current IWGP United States Champion. I did not see Wrestle Kingdom night number 1, but from what I read, these were some of the things that went down. So those are a couple of big things that came out of last night, of night number 1. Also, we have new IWGP Tag Champs as the Guerrillas of Destiny, Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, became the champions. So hopefully I'll be able to watch maybe a replay of night number 1 and night number 2 coming up sometime this week. But let's see here. On Raw tonight, we saw a lot of legends appear, like Hulk Hogan, Big Show, Mark Henry, Sergeant Slaughter, Tatanka, Mickie James, Tori Wilson, Alicia Fox, who, no disrespect to Alicia Fox, but I'm like a lot of people when I say, when did she become a legend? And when did she be considered a legend? Like I said, no disrespect, but I mean, when they say Legends Night, Alicia Fox's name is not on I don't think on anyone's Legends list of people. And like I said, no disrespect to anybody, to Alicia. She's very talented. However, I don't know. I wouldn't consider her a legend. But there was a lot of legends that appeared. We had a Miz TV segment that would set up the first match of the night. It would be Miz and John Morrison taking on the New Day. This one actually came about because of that Miz TV segment where the New Day were Miz and Morrison's guests. New Day started making jokes about having their own talk show. Miz got upset. Then Teddy Long would come out, and he would basically do his bit where he would set up Miz and Morrison in a match against The Undertaker, but then Adam Pearce had to correct him, and then he wound up making a tag team match playa with Miz and Morrison versus the New Day, which saw New Day win, as Xavier Woods would pick up the win over John Morrison in that tag team matchup. We had a Randy Orton interview where he talked about what happened last week, why he didn't set Alexa Bliss on fire. He said it was because he showed compassion, he showed restraint. He said he was sick of himself and what he has become. He said he was going to take all that, and mold it, and was going to basically go talk to some of his friends who are legends and basically have conversations with them. That would happen throughout the night. He would talk to Ric Flair. He would confront Big Show, Mark Henry. I think there was some other one that he confronted. It might have been just those three. and he basically confronted them, reminding them of what he did to them, and all this other stuff. So that was pretty cool. We had Angel Garza in 2 segments involving legends as well. Of course, Angel Garza became the 24/7 champion on New Year's Eve during a New Year's Eve special that WWE had on TikTok when he pinned R-Truth. And then he wound up losing the title tonight to R-Truth with a little bit of help from the Boogeyman, who made an appearance. And then would be, after he lost, Angel would be confronted by Ron Simmons, who did his usual stick. That happened a little bit later on in the show. Then, in a rematch from last week, AJ Styles defeated Elias. After the match, Jackson Riker went to hit AJ with Elias's guitar. However, Amos, AJ's associate, would get in and basically kick and smash with that kick the guitar to pieces. So that was it for that. Lacey Evans and Peyton Royce gained a upset victory over the women's tag team champions Charlotte Flair and the Raw Women's Champion Asuka. And that happened because Ric Flair, who was in Charlotte and Asuka's corner, wound up costing Charlotte the matchup when, because apparently throughout the day, throughout the day, Lacey Evans had been trying to talk and flirt with Ric Flair. She even she even did a few things during this match, trying to flirt with him. This made Charlotte angry, and it seemed like Charlotte was going to go for the win. However, a little bit of a miscommunication saw Ric Flair trip Charlotte, and that allowed Peyton Royce to pick up the win for her team. So afterwards, Charlotte told Rick, "Don't get involved in my business, and go. Just go away." So we had a WWE Champion Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Hulk Hogan backstage segment. That was really just to pump up Drew McIntyre for his title defense tonight against Keith Lee in the main event. Riddle picked up a controversial win over the United States champion Bobby Lashley. Riddle, during this match, would wind up getting locked in the Hurt Lock, Bobby Lashley's version of the full Nelson. Riddle would kick his feet off the ropes, and they would go over the referee. The referee would walk away like distracted, and did not see Riddle tap out. So Lashley thought he won the match. However, the referee's like, "No, you didn't win. I didn't see the tap out," and that allowed Riddle to roll up Lashley for the 3. We had Dana Brooke, who had taken the place of of her tag team partner Mandy Rose to take on Shayna Baszler, because it was supposed to be Mandy Rose versus Shayna. However, Shayna attacked Mandy before the match, and Dana Brooke came out and basically took her place, and she would wind up pinning Shayna Baszler after Shayna locked in the Karafuda clutch, but Dana Brooke countered it into a pinning combination, and that is what picked up the win for Dana Brooke. We also had a Keith Lee and Riddle backstage segment where Riddle was trying to give a pep talk to Keith Lee ahead of tonight's WWE title match. We had Randy Orton defeating Jeff Hardy with the RKO. It was an okay matchup. We had Lucha House Party, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado. They pinned the Raw Tag Team Champions Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin of the Hurt Business. So not a good night for the Hurt Business, as they lost 2 matches tonight on Raw. I mentioned R-Truth regained the 24/7 title during a backstage segment where Angel Garza thought he was going to be meeting Cardi B, Kylie Jenner, not realizing that Tori Wilson, who he was trying to give a rose to, was setting him up and telling him that Cardi B and Kylie Jenner were down the hall in this one room. When he went into the room, he would see the boogeyman, and that distracted him, and R-Truth pinned him 1, 2, 3 to win back the 24/7 championship. Then in the main event, it was Keith Lee challenging Drew McIntyre in what I thought was a really good match for the WWE title. Drew McIntyre picked up the win with the Claymore kick. And then all the legends were sitting on the stage watching the match. Afterwards, after Drew won, Goldberg's music would hit. He would come to the ring and basically challenge Drew McIntyre to a match for the WWE Championship at the Royal Rumble. And Raw went off the air with Drew telling Goldberg fighting him would be like fighting his dad. And Goldberg shoved him, and that is how Raw ended. So pretty much, that was pretty much it for Raw. I'm honestly going to say that it was pretty boring tonight. Like, a lot of the matches, the only one that I really was excited for was Keith Lee and Drew McIntyre. Everything else was just boring. Like, you know, they just brought these legends back to pop a rating. So we'll have to wait and see if it did any good. But overall, it was pretty boring. So with that being said, this has been my Raw recap for tonight's episode of Raw. I thought it was a pretty boring episode. Let me know what you guys thought of it in the comments below. As always, I am Brian, and thank you for watching.